Hi, so my name is Catherine Miller, and I'll be talking about my global learning project, and this is my first session, and I met with a professor at Michigan State University who grew up in the UK, and our culture plays, for me and her, didn't really play a big part in our education, but the culture of our education was vastly different. So she went to kind of like a charter school similar to what's set up in the United States. It was Christian based for her. They wore a uniform. And in the UK, their education is set up differently. So she went to high school till she was 16, then proceeded to go to A levels, and then, which is kind of like college, and then went on to a university level. So for her and her high school, they are set up on blocks on a two-week rotation. So every day she was having different blocks of classes that she had different content, while as I had the same classes every day, attended them same amount of time period, while hers varied from day to day. She also started school at 8:40 in the morning, and some days she would get out at 3, some days she'd get out at a quarter after 4, while I started school at 7:30 in the morning, and I got out at 2:30 in the afternoon. Her graduating class was 120, and in total, her school was 600. Now, for me, my graduating class alone was 700 people, and we had 3 grade levels in one building. We had 10th, 11th, and 12th graders all in one building, while the freshmen were in another. So I went to a lot bigger school than she did. Our schools actually looked pretty similar. Hers had a lot more windows than mine did, but other than that, they looked pretty much the same. She was extremely connected and felt like a big community member in her high school. They had things called, I believe it was proxy is how you say it, but so she was a guard, or a guard to a door, where she made sure that students weren't leaving the campus during their lunch period. She helped teachers do their work, so she played this big role, and there was head girls and head boys in their school for every class that made sure that everyone was following the rules and really focused on community engagement, and she played a big role in that into high school. And I did nothing like that. I wanted nothing to do with that. I kind of just went to school, did my thing, and came home. I didn't really partake into anything like that. And for her, she didn't really have that many worries. It was just being typical teenager, and boys and her girl problems with her friends and whatnot. And tests, we had very, very different. So they have a test that they take that represents their school and then defines what they're going to go on to do differently, and that was not at all how my school was set up. So we definitely had some differences in culture, but I'm excited to learn more, and I learned a lot more about her than I thought I was going to.